Okay, so you guys might hear the air conditioner and the fan. I'm kind of really hot, having one of those moments. Anyway, you guys know that I've been talking a lot about my trip home to Florida and being able to kind of sit with the children and watch them play and just be a part of them and show them, even though I'm not there, that, that I love them and I was trying to create a bond with them. So, the one thing that I love about little children is that they're very truthful, and whatever it is that their parents have really taught them really shines through. And basically, this is a subject that I was talking about a little bit earlier. But anyway, there is no coincidence in me wearing this shirt of the women of Wakanda and the warriors that they were. But little children are very perceptive, and again, they learn by the things that you say, the things that you don't even say, things that, how you act, and they pay attention when we really don't think that they're paying attention. But this past couple weeks when I went home, I love little children, and I love when they see me, as most adults don't either. If they see me from behind, adults, or sometimes in front, they'll address me as sir, and I don't never correct them, sir, madam, whatever. It's all of that. I got all of that going on. So I don't really I don't mind. And people really apologize, be very apologetic, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. Basically, I'm a spirit. I'm male, female. I'm all of that. So it doesn't matter what people call you, especially not to be mean about it or anything like that. They're just seeing what it is, saying what it is that they say. And so children do the very same thing. And so I love that children are bold, and I pray that we don't, stop them from doing that. A lot of times we'll tell our children don't look at people or don't say anything or whatever the case may be. But kids are sponges, and they're here to learn. So every chance I get to teach them, I do just that. So one of my little nephew, he started off first. When I first got there, it was him and his older sister, and he looked at me, and when he looked at me, I knew, I knew that he was thinking in his head, woman but man, man but woman. And so I kind of, I said to him, I said, hey, how you doing? I picked him up and just loved on him, and things of that nature. And then he asked me, he said, your hair is short. I said, yes. I said, isn't it beautiful that I can do to my hair exactly whatever it is that I want to do, and I still am beautiful? And he just looked at me like, hell yeah. And so I said that to say is that when children, look at me in that particular way, I kind of address them as that and kind of talk to them about being able to be who you want to be or who you believe that you are in this world, and that they too can be who it is that they want to be. I believe that when we have children for selfish reasons. Many of us do. We want a baby, and then we want a girl or we want a boy, and then sometimes we say we don't care what it is that we have, but based upon whatever that child is, it may not turn out to what we expected. And when that does not happen, the main thing for us as parents is that child came into the world to teach us something about ourselves. Something that it is that we need to learn with respect to the world, because you first have to learn about yourself, then you learn about the world. You take that information that you learn. That's why we can be compassionate to other people, because we've been there before, we felt that, or we had someone in our midst that we've known what that felt like for them. And so I say that some children, when I mentioned earlier that some children, they repeat what it is that they hear adults saying. And as far as us being parents and teaching our children and allowing them to be who they are and not stifling them, we allow them a different side of things. And we allow ourselves to learn something more, not only about ourselves but about our children as well. They come into this world to teach us. I cannot stress that enough. And so the woman that wants to have the little girl, and when she has the little girl, she sits down to comb her hair, and she's bucking. She doesn't want her hair comb. And it's not to say that you shouldn't, allow your child to be presentable, but you should, if you realize that your child doesn't like hair, your little girl doesn't like hair, cut it off. Who cares what anybody says about her hair? You know that she's a girl, her body is, but her spirit may have come here to do something else. She may have come here to change the status quo. She might have come here to be a warrior. You have no idea what it is that your children have come here to be, and by you trying to make them and mold them into what it is that you want them to be, only ends up in resentment of you for trying to do that. Or some of our children end up killing themselves because they don't measure up to what their parents would want them to be. And so I say that I believe that my life is a life of teaching moments. And so I allow myself to be the great teacher within those particular aspects. I'm not saying I'm the teacher or I'm the guru, but I allow myself to be put into spaces where I have to be exactly who it is that I am, so that I can allow another person a space to grow. And that's not to say that, this is a great moment every time that I'm being me, that it's a great moment that somebody doesn't say something out the way or slicker out their mouth. But I know exactly who it is that I am. And I know that I am, born of the Creator, made to be creative. And I know exactly who I am. So it doesn't bother me in that aspect of it. But again, I want parents to really, not try and make their children be what it is that they want them to be. You've had your chance, and you still do have your chance to be whatever it is that you want to be. But don't try and make your children into this little mini person that is you, exact replica, because they didn't come here to be that. Each one of us came here to be, or we each came here to be our own person and to have our own purpose. Each of us have our own purpose. None of us are identically alike. Some of us may do some of the same things. Some of us may even look similar, but we are not identical. We're not the same people or person. So allow your children to ask questions, to allow them to, ask you, well, Mom, who is that, or why is she, or why does she cut her hair, or whatever? Because she wants to, and because she can. It's her hair. No one else. I don't complain about what anybody else does in this life, and I don't allow my children to, and I never have allowed my children to, say things about other people, because people they come into this world who they are. God knew who they were going to be before they actually stepped into this body, that baby body that ultimately became this adult body. The Creator already knew that. And He added some spice to life so that we can all be for the greater good. My being who I am adds to who you are. You may not want to recognize that, but it does. We're all here for each other, for the sake of humanity. But before we do that whole societal thing, we have to be comfortable with who it is that we are. So anyway, I believe that, children are the greatest opportunity to grow. So teach them and allow them to teach you. Peace out.